Hello everyone, welcome back to In Room 5. All our viewers, our subscribers, thank you for supporting us this far. I see the subscriber growth on our socials, our YouTube. Thank you everyone who comments on our videos, likes our videos. Yeah, I'm Noah Jira, your host, and this is
your boy Ian Kakoza.
Yeah, the co-host. We are back here again.
Yeah, I would like to thank Makerere University for all this conducive atmosphere and Unipod, Innovation Pod Makerere. You have anything you can innovate, come here. Everything is around. People, you're not coming. But come, please come. Everything is here, the technology. You'll be there shouting, screaming, hey, I have an idea and all that stuff. So why aren't you here?
And we also need guests on this podcast as well, because, you know, we can't keep bouncing our views off each other. We need the controversy. So if you disagree with us, just contact us.
We need views
through our socials.
Views from other people.
Or if you know us in person, contact us and come
don't
and
fear.
Challenge us.
Don't fear. We don't fight anyone.
Yeah.
It's free. You don't pay. Don't pay.
Just show up and that's it.
And tell us what you think about that topic. Yeah, you come here. So Noah Jira, you're here.
I'm here.
Okay. Noah, is a spiritual realm? Does it exist? Like, does the spiritual realm exist?
That's a very heavy question. My answer is yes, it most likely does. You know, when they say where there's smoke, there is fire. So there's been so much, there are so many people who believe deeply in this. There are so many faiths. It's the default setting of mankind. So who am I?
The default setting of mankind.
Yeah. Who am I to argue against?
So Noah, the default setting of mankind. So you think this is in our DNA, our system, to search for godlike creatures or to believe in the spirits and all that? Yeah,
I believe as you can see, as a way of explaining the world. Before we even came up with science or anything, we always wanted to explain the natural phenomena that we can't understand. Lightning, you've seen like the Norse mythology. Norse mythology, you've seen Thor. Thor, the god of lightning. Or Zeus from Greece, god of lightning. Explaining our lightning, explaining rainbows. You saw the rainbow bridge from Asgard, etc. So we always try to explain natural phenomena, and even when you look at even here in Africa, there's different phenomena. We have something that explains earthquakes. Have you ever heard of the story of Nyamionga?
Where is that?
It's from here in Uganda.
Nyamionga, as if I remember.
You've not heard of the Bachwezi? Yes. There's that entire tale about how there was this king of the underground.
Oh yeah, I remember in P3, but
of the
do I remember it was? Was it the king of Bunyoro Kitara? Was it a god of Bunyoro Kitara?
Now Nyamionga specifically was like the king of the underworld, and he was the king of the Mizi.
Is he locked under there and trying to move out? Is it that story?
So him specifically, there is someone who got locked there, and every time he would try to break out. Don't ask me for the exact details, because these days, you know, we are losing all our oral traditions. And,
we never wrote it anywhere.
So he's trying to break out, and that's what causes the earthquakes. We have such explanations for all sorts of things. Yeah.
So basing on the stories you've heard, okay, we have all heard, because I also know this story. You've talked about the Bachwezi, and there is this. There is this local game called Omweso. Omweso is where you have are they coffee seeds? Then there are very many holes. Then you start. I don't know. I used to play it when I was a kid, because some old man taught me that.
From far. I've never seen Omweso in real life.
Omweso.
Yeah, I just learned about it.
You're from Mbarara. There's no way you didn't see
I did see it
around.
though.
So what do you mean? You think I'm from deep village? I grew up from Kampala. From Kampala here. But there's some old guy who taught me how to play Omweso. And they told us about this Omweso found in is western Uganda. It used to be played by the Bachwezi.
It's a heritage from Bunyoro Kitara.
So you start playing that Omweso, you don't have to leave until you win. Yeah, the story is there. Like,
what if the game doesn't end? What happens?
remember, these guys have been playing Omweso for 2,000 years. They know all the skills. More than 2,000 years. It's like 6,000 years. So you play this. Okay, plus.
That's implausible though. 6,000.
It's not possible. Calculate back.
No, I'm saying 2,000 years ago, that's when Jesus was alive.
Yes.
The migrations that led the ancestors of who we call the Chwezi, presumably, to the Bunyoro region.
Around 1,500 AD.
Yeah, so it's...
So no, we have somewhere around 500 years here in East Africa.
No, not 500. More than 500. Our kingdoms are about 1,000 years in that range, here in this region.
Okay, let me say 2,000 years.
Okay,
yeah, okay, let's say 2,000 years.
Yeah.
You start playing that game, you can't finish it. So, I'm not so sure. I have heard stories, but I can't say I can play that Omweso, even if I'm trying to figure out. So, there is this fear we have. The fear of the spirit world, but you be there in the state where you kind of don't think the ghosts are really there, but you're scared of that spiritual world. Because of there have been many stories.
Yeah,
you've heard of Abases.
Yeah, you've told me how. Yeah, Abases. Yeah, I've heard of that. And you also told me how you are even afraid when you see Backcloth. And then I was laughing at you.
Backcloth? No, it wasn't me. It happened. It happened around Chengera there. Someone left a Backcloth and Ndeku.
What's Ndeku?
Ndeku is a calabash. Is it a calabash? They used to drink local beer from.
In my language, it's called Encheka.
Encheka. So someone put it in the middle of the road. But the comedy you would witness there, people would drive cars and make sure they don't even like. This takes us back to the African thing.
These are good Christians, by the way.
Yeah, but they are driving so far away from some guy nearly fell into that trench trying to dodge the Ndeku and the Backcloth. So this also brings us back to the African topic we had recently in our episode 1. It's like our religions have turned into evil religions. I think how the guy is scared to go through the Backcloth. Yet we used to even put it on enter shrines and all that stuff. So the spiritual world, I feel like part of me feels like it exists. Part of me feels like...
Oh, you're of two minds.
I am of two minds. And I'm not sure because there's not... Okay, there is evidence, but the evidence is not so much convincing. Yeah, and I don't know.
You've heard of people who like go to... now it's a popular thing among Europeans. Recently I was seeing a tweet from someone. This very popular podcaster in America is called Lex Friedman. I think you've heard of him.
Friedman. Yeah.
People always joke about how he's so robotic.
He asks questions like an AI.
Yeah. He recently went to, I think, Peru. Yeah, so there in the Peruvian Andes, there's this brew they make called ayahuasca. So they make it from a certain plant which is psychedelic and contains DMT. So the shamans...
What's DMT?
DMT, it's a certain chemical. Don't ask me to fill it in.
Like in full, because I know of it.
It's a very, very
long
word.
dimethyl.
Yeah, something.
Yeah,
a very long word. So these people take it. The shamans used to take it. This brew, and then
who are the shamans?
Shamans, basically, you can think of it as a word like the spiritual leaders, what we call witch doctors here.
This is in Peru. Peru is found in which?
Peru is in South America.
It's in South America?
Yeah. So the northern
And what about Para? Peru, Para.
No, that's just a song. I don't know what you are trying to
So
say.
Para is not a separate. I thought you fly from Peru to Para.
I don't know what he meant.
Okay.
Yeah, he's the only one who knows what he was singing about. So
Peru, Para.
So these shamans in the Amazon, in the Andes, they take this brew and then it lets them like meet with the gods and have personal revelations about themselves. There's also another similar drug in North America called peyote. Yeah. Similar things, people take it, then they say.
Yeah, I've seen some of the DMT. It is from a plant. I don't know. Let me try to Google that plant. There's a plant where they extract the DMT from it. Many people who have tested this drug, currently called that drug, they have witnessed different things, life-changing things. They have been drug addicts, like addicted to cocaine, addicted to weed, addicted to alcohol, and after taking this DMT, they claim they see gods, they see different kinds of creatures which speak to them, talk to them, and all of them, they have changed positively. So the question is posed, do these people meet gods, or there's something wrong with that DMT? Let me try to search it up.
Might as well look it up in Wikipedia. So, yeah, who knows? Because people really have some profound experiences. So, who knows if spirituality is real? Because if someone can look at something, say it's real, same thing with even our usual religions.
It is called N-dimethyltryptamine, DMT. It's a psychedelic drug. So, no, what's a psychedelic drug? I just hear psychedelic drug. It's hallucinogen.
Yeah, things that mind altering. So they bond to some receptors maybe in your brain because you see things. But these ones I mentioned in particular, peyote, ayahuasca, they have been used by people in a spiritual setting, and these people say, oh, we reached a higher level of consciousness, and I don't know.
I met a friend who said he's thinking at the 8th.
He's thinking it. But this
what's the 5th? I don't know what's the 6th.
Yeah, so
I don't know what's the 7th.
People have very strange experiences.
But what if these drugs are just playing around with just the mind? You know how we have dopamine, all those sorts of hormones. Do you know we have a part in the brain? There's a section in the brain. When they start touching it or tampering with it, you feel sad. Like you start feeling sad, nothing is making you sad, you feel sad, you might end up crying. Do you know that the brain can make up anything? Anything.
Yeah.
Like, do you know we dream? With our eyes closed, we see color. We see different other things.
All our senses are active.
All our senses are active, but our eyes are closed. You can see why your eyes are closed. Though people say that our souls leave and go into another.
Exactly.
That person
someone could argue that while you're dreaming, you're in an entirely different realm, which isn't our normal.
So no, I was saying, if a normal brain can do that, what about a little bit of DMT? Because this brain, do you know even you heard of color is an illusion? Color does not exist. The brain came up with color. I read this when I was in senior 6, and I was in shock. Like I'm even wondering, are we really looking at reality right now? Are we really looking at reality?
Speaking of color, recently the Veritasium, you know Veritasium, right? The other guy who talked about Kurt Gödel, remember Gödel's incompleteness theorem?
The mathematician?
Yeah, he's not a mathematician. Yeah, but he has a YouTube channel. I think it's the biggest science YouTube channel. So one of his most recent videos, he was studying color in jumping spiders, color perception. So then he starts talking about humans. You know, we are trichromatic.
What's trichromatic?
So you know the eye cells that you have that specifically detect light, rods, cones. So you know which ones work in daylight? Is it the rods or the cones?
Rods are for light, cones are for color, mostly,
So cones, so you have 3 kinds, and
daylight.
So there are certain ones that use cones.
Daylight. Then rods are mostly for
night vision. So these cones are only sensitive in humans to 3 specific ranges of
blue
and green. So whenever we look at this screen and we look at a specific color produced by a screen, we are not looking at that specific color because the screen is just producing mixtures of red, blue, and green.
Green to come up
Yeah,
with the
second
secondary color.
So that other color that we are seeing has an actual wavelength, but in the real world, when that wavelength hits your eye cells, it activates two different. They detect both red and green, and then the brain just processes and says, "Oh, this
blue.
is the color being emitted. This is
it's
purple."
a different.
So you actually do not look at the world. Eh? Your brain only picks up red, green, and blue, and it makes
we
up all the
don't
rest.
look at the world.
Yeah, the brain we see a projection of what's real. Eh? So we do not actually see the world, and our screen.
So we don't know what's real. We don't know what's
Let me
actually
give you a funny scenario.
even talking about the spiritual
Yeah.
realm. Eh?
Yeah.
We already don't understand what actually is real here.
Yeah. Our only tools are flawed. Now let me give you a funny thing.
And we want to understand the more unreal. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah.
Eh?
Yeah.
What's beyond the real we know.
Yeah. So now first, let me show you a funny thing. If an alien showed up and it had true color vision, it had cells sensitive to almost every range in the spectrum. So say its cells can pick up every small range of wavelengths, starting from red all the way even say ultraviolet etc. And it looked at our screens and say our screen is reproducing an image of outside. It looks at our video file, it will be like, this video file only has reds, greens and blues. How come I'm not seeing those other colors? It's just that our eyes, our brain processes those colors together and makes it seem like that color is
so these drugs these people are taking, they are just exercising their brain more. But how comes Noah? They are seeing the same things almost. Like they see God, they see, certain okay, if you look at the images, if you look at the images of the stuff these people see, we shall show them up there on the screen. These are very scary images of the gods which talk to them, then for them to start being addicts. But is it real or fiction? The brain is entertaining itself.
How can we know? Because who knows?
But then how can you back up some stories you had? Like, have you ever heard of Chibuko Mumbali?
I haven't. So
Chibuko Mumbali was
that's a very serious name.
Chibuka Mumbali.
Okay. You're laughing at Chibuko.
No, I'm not laughing at Chibuko. What did the guy comes from me the next?
Just continue.
Okay. Okay, I heard of Chibuko Mumbali. Chibuko Mumbali was a Buganda warrior. Buganda warrior. So, was he a god or a warrior? One of the two. Chibuko Mumbali used to fight Bunyoro. You know, Buganda used to always fight Bunyoro all the time. All the time. They would even get someone who was over leprosy. They send him to Bunyoro. They take us to Bunyoro. It was such a battle back then. So Chibuko Mumbali, they claim he used to sit on the clouds. Don't laugh. Spiritual realm, no. Spiritual realm.
I'm not laughing. I can't laugh.
With his bow of arrows. Then he starts shooting. She would see a cloud passing, but do you know these Avengers movies? So with his missioner, the hammer, killing everyone. Chibuko Mumbali had an arrow and he was flying all over. So there are these stories which you feel like, what? Did someone come up with them? Are they real? Because even if they tell you, there's a tree in Impigi. Actually, there's a tree in Impigi district, where Chibuka fell. I think one day they killed him. He was still hiding in his clouds. I don't remember the literature. Then he fell on that tree. The tree is still dry, I think, up to now. It's either that tree they took away, that tree, the gods asked for how many millions to build the MPG road, or it's still there. So, however much I'm like, this is funny. How can Chibuko Mumbale be in the clouds flying around? I can't go on that tree. And I'm like, Shibuka,
Yeah, exactly.
you have never existed.
I once.
So do you think these guys were on DMT? Or
no, who knows? You know, I once saw this other woman. She's a guardian. I didn't see her personally. I read her in a magazine. I wouldn't go there personally, but she guards a certain shrine somewhere, and she had not showered for like 30 years. So imagine something that compels humans. So this is why I say
no, that's not compelling.
yeah.
That's not wanting to shower.
No, like the gods ordered her
not to shower.
as a guardian
For how
of
many
shrine.
years?
Yeah, but I read
You know
this
the
story a
dirtiest
long time
man
back.
who has just died recently?
I haven't heard of him. Though.
The dirtiest man. He refused to shower. No showering. Did the gods talk to him not to shower?
It was his own intention.
Yes.
But anyway,
So,
that's a really, really okay. So people have so many experiences, so I don't think you can discount it. And I actually believe, to some extent,
as someone refused to shower.
us discounting.
No, for 30 years.
Yeah, that might sound negative, but
Which country was this?
Uganda.
What?
Yes, Uganda.
Where?
I read it in an old edition of the Sunday magazine. You remember when Vision Group used to publish this magazine within its newspapers every Sunday, and they would have different interesting topics. They have like fashion pages, gossip pages, columnists. So there's a section where they used to explore different interesting locations. They go to like the hot springs. Those hot springs you went to a couple of weeks ago.
Chitagata.
Yeah. They go to
by the people there in Chitagata, I found them like, you know, for us we went there to chill, feel the warmth, but people come like expecting like cleansing, spiritual cleansing.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, to become cleaner. They feel like over the gods are showering them with pure water because it's warm water, but we know that where that water is from. There is magma.
Yeah.
There's magma under.
But anyway, sometimes it may have healing benefits. So they say, who knows? If the spiritual realm is real and the gods do reside somewhere under those hot springs. Yeah. So in that magazine, there was a section where they explored her shrine. They interviewed her. Yeah. I wish I could bring up the images. Yeah, I think we'll bring it up later. Yeah. So it's really shocking. Might seem like a negative, but I feel like us leaving this kind of tradition behind sort of made us lose a huge chunk of our heritage. So at some point we've been rudderless, and that's why we are lagging behind the rest of the world
African
to a certain extent. Because think of traditions like in India, arguably their religion, Hinduism, they've been following this creed for probably more than 1,000 years now. And
so
even the religion
it's in Hinduism where there is Krishna.
Yeah.
There's other
Shiva,
Shiva.
It's a very complex religion. It doesn't
Who's the
have
elephant god?
elephant god. I'm not sure
Okay.
who the elephant god is. But they have so many gods, and it's polytheistic, but they also believe kind of in
It's
one
what?
god.
No.
Polytheistic means
What do you
you have a pantheon with many gods. You don't have just one god versus monotheistic where you have one god.
Polytheism. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
polytheistic,
Yeah.
Yeah. So these people have many gods, but they also believe in one god at the same time. They believe everyone is part of that one god. Yeah, it's a very interesting.
So you think like the Africans dropping their religions
can be positive or negative. Think of say the Aztecs. The Aztecs, by the time the Europeans first met up with them, this is the civilization that used to be in where Mexico is now. Actually, Mexico City is built on the ruins of this city called Tenochtitlan, which was like the capital. So the Aztecs had this religion where they used to sacrifice people to the sun all the time at eclipses.
Yes. If you watched Apocalypto.
Yeah, Apocalypto.
10/10 movie.
Is
Did you watch it?
That time.
Jaguapo.
Yeah, I did. It is a nice movie.
I'm going to rebound that movie. Okay, like seriously, I'm going to rebound that movie. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, very nice. I don't know how they got that cast to.
I liked that movie.
So
like I just was it. Who was Mel Gibson? Was he the
Yeah.
director? Mel Gibson was the director. And wow, he pulled it off. Like, I really felt like I was in 10,000 BC or 1,000 BC. What a movie. Okay, continue. I was just remembering.
Yeah,
I'm going to rewatch it.
You know, that's a detrimental religion. If you have a religion where they make you sacrifice people, and we also had these things in Africa, and still do. Yeah, even...
We used to sacrifice twins.
Yeah.
When we studied Christian religious education in O level.
But is that true?
African Traditional Society. I remember this point because I always used to.
So that's a generalization. What is atheism?
Okay, there is African Traditional
everywhere.
Society.
We are nations.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
Okay.
No one. Okay, not the entire Africa.
Africa. You can't generalize like that.
Okay,
We are
okay.
a continent of 1,000 nations.
Yes, I'm talking about it was in Central Africa. Central Africa.
Yeah.
Okay, I've forgotten because I last read this like years back in my senior 2 when we were doing the CRE. So these people used to sacrifice twins. Like, how are you born on the same day looking alike?
You must be some kind of demon.
You a demon. Same eyes? Are you crazy?
Another
They just
example of a detrimental religion. But as I've brought you an example, the old Aztec religion, we don't have a monopoly on that. There are many religions which are kind of detrimental. I think it's important how a religion is, like what values it upholds. So that if your religion upholds values of life, this and this and this, yeah, it will let your society grow. That's why you see a lot of development happened in certain places. Then in other places, if you're really held back by
so religion is part of civilization.
Yeah, it is part, because it can be, before you come up with things like codes of conduct, laws, etc.
You have to first.
The religion may codify exactly
What was a spark to this religion creation in the world? Like, what sparked off this?
Yeah, for example, that's what
why did people start saying like, let's start organizing ourselves economically, politically, socially, and religiously? Why did it matter to them? What was the point? Did someone talk to them? Was there...
Did the gods come down?
Did they have dreams? Did they have... Like, there are things which are really shared amongst almost all religions around the world. When you look at a demigod being born, gods and human beings interacting to give birth to giants. This story has been in almost most of the religions we have in the world. When you look at the during the Sumerian civilization, they have their gods called the Anunnaki. I know you hate the Anunnaki, but they are tablets. They are tablets showing
the conspiracy theories.
The conspiracy theory attached to those tablets is so funny. But they really wrote about the Anunnaki. And they showed that the Anunnaki had intercourse or whatever with human beings, then they gave birth to giants. That's how it is, whatever, written.
Similarly,
giants to
the Greeks,
then the Greeks,
Titans,
the Greeks,
gods.
The Titans gave birth to Greek gods. The Greek gods like Zeus,
Also
Poseidon, gave birth to the Hercules and Perseus. When you come to Uganda Kingdom, where I understand like the African religion I can relate to, because we've been told the things of Chintu, Nambi, and all that stuff. Kayikuzi. Chintu married Nambi. Nambi was a goddess, a daughter to Guru. And they had kids. Kayikuzi was a brother and Walumbe. Walumbe is the one killing us. Right now he's hiding in Ntanda. There's an evil god. There is giving birth to demigods, human beings. So these civilizations were not contacted. The Aztecs were there in South America. Was it South America?
Yeah. Central America.
Yes. Mesopotamian Sumerian civilization is in what? Asia?
Yeah.
It's in Asia.
Yeah.
We are here in Central Africa. They have something in common. Demigods.
So in the
who
case
saw
of that,
a demigod first?
In the case of that,
Who came up with that
So for the case of that, I think we need to look at, this is why I believe religions necessarily are created for purpose. So there is sometimes social control, codifying laws, etc., etc., and also giving people a sense of belonging. So sometimes people want to feel divine. They want to have a divine heritage, which makes them better than the people over the hill. Like, we are special because a special God
Like the Bachwezi.
created our river. Yeah. For example, you've seen very many people who associate themselves with the Bachwezi. They are like, I'm descended from
Yes,
the Bachwezi.
Noah, we know very many people
and
who
I'm
associate.
special because of
You
this
know
and
the
that.
people who like the Bachwezi.
I have not mentioned anyone.
Yes, let's continue.
Yeah,
know
we're
the
continuing.
Bachwezi.
I'm moving past
that.
So similarly, these Greeks wanted to also feel special in a certain way. You want to be the one that the gods interacted with. So a lot of the time this comes in the concept of a demigod, the concept of a god coming in earth in human form. So it's a very shared concept. But then for the case of the European religions, you know, like Zeus, Thor, the parallels between Titans and the giants of Norse mythology, the frost giants, those parallels I think come from a common heritage, because those religions have one common root, because all the people populating that region have like one maybe proto-religion which spawned all those other religions. So the Greeks, Romans, very similar. The Norse gods, very similar. But here in Africa, I feel that we also have common themes, similarly. But in this case, it's mostly about what makes your group special. You try to make your group look like, we are descended from this Chwezi, we are descended from this and this. So that gives you a sense of superiority. Then the other aspect of religion...
But you know what, the Bachwezi themselves, they are saying people want to just feel special and all that stuff. The Bachwezi also, they are really like not well known.
How are they not well known?
No, I read about them back then, like last year. Wikipedia, you search it?
Yes.
Wikipedia, they were said to have come from Sudan. They were light-skinned and so tall and giant. Those are randomly,
notions.
Who are these people who just disappeared? Aren't they the Bachwezi?
Yeah, they are the Bachwezi.
They just disappeared. We don't know what happened to them. So this feels like gods had a visit on what? Gods came, visited Africa. Africans, East Africa, then they got lost. Just Google Bachwezi. Don't Google Empire of Kitara. You just say Bachwezi. You say Bachwezi. Do Bachwezi exist?
It is the same article.
It's still asserted to have extended even to areas.
Specifically, a lot of the times I feel like we are not recording our history very well. So this notion that the Bachwezi maybe were some white Romans something, that is a colonial notion. Because they wanted to explain away us having these centralized kingdoms, organized empires within the Interlacustrine region. So I think they just decided, these people couldn't have organized themselves. So these founding people they set up, the so-called Bachwezi, must have been Romans. So this is all a colonial construct.
The Bachwezi were Romans?
Someone claims that they are Romans. Someone claims they are this and this. Is Ruhinda a Roman name? Not really. Is Ndahura a Roman name?
No.
These are African names.
But they said they are...
Yeah, so they were not necessarily white. Maybe they were Africans, maybe from somewhere, but they were definitely Africans. Africans have different skin tones. You've seen the people of the Horn of Africa. Very light skin.
Eritreans, Djibouti,
Somalia. And when you take genetic tests of even people as far south as or central as Rwanda or Burundi, you find people that have Cushitic DNA all over. So people have been migrating back.
What?
The Cushites are a group, a population group within the Horn of Africa.
The Cushites?
Yes. Yeah, so you find people with that kind of DNA over here. When you go to the Cushites, you find they even have some Semitic DNA from Asia. So it's always an interchange of culture.
The Bachwezi were demigods.
They are natives.
According to the history, they were demigods. They came and introduced civilization to us. Like according to the tablets of the Anunnaki, of the Sumerian civilization.
Yeah.
They show that they came and taught us how to iron smelt, taught those people there. Then here in Buganda, it is those people who taught us iron smelting, pottery. When we're studying social studies, is it SST in primary?
Yeah.
They told us that. When you look at the traces and the evidence, they show that we got these skills from some people who came and then disappeared.
The iron smelting bit, that can't be true, because there is evidence of iron smelting here in East Africa from long before even that empire existed. So if you go to northwestern Tanzania, where the higher people live, you will find these people have been iron smelting for 2,000 years. When you go to Kenya, there are people who have been iron smelting, not even just iron smelting, making steel. Remember our first episode?
Yes.
Yeah. There are people who have been making steel using a blast furnace for thousands of years before even Europeans discovered it. So there's nothing like the Bachwezi came in and they taught us whatever skill.
Okay, no,
maybe what they might have done is organize us into a centralized kingdom, but
and then they
were also
disappear.
so these people were not necessarily the Bachwezi. They are not necessarily from outside Africa or anything, white people. This is a general myth. It's a general myth that has been perpetuated. So we've ended up with this kind of inferiority complex. Actually, in certain locales I want to mention in Africa, these white people have even came up with an idea where they're like, oh, these people are a different race and they have like a white whatever, and these kinds of tensions were cultivated artificially, leading to enmity between different tribes.
But Noah, okay.
So this has been
Noah,
yeah.
The spiritual realm.
Yes.
What if?
Point.
Yes,
Yeah.
returning back there.
Yeah.
The spiritual realm. What if it is another dimension people connect to in some way? Because I feel like yes, there are religions. I think things shocked people and they started up religions. They saw things that they were like, what the hell? What have I seen? Like, what is this?
When you take peyote or ayahuasca or
No. Without taking
even
drugs,
without
I think-
taking, when
Okay,
you're
let's talk
schizophrenic.
about the power of meditation.
Yeah.
You know those monks who go to the whatever, to mountains, no sound, only the sound of air, and then they bond with nature. Yeah? Then they meditate, they think to another level. What if that connects us to another dimension, what I call a spiritual? What if when we die, because life after death has been almost, is it a human curiosity or people fear to die completely and they are like, well, let's create an illusion of
But then there
life
are
after death.
There are a few cultures that don't have life after death.
Like what?
In that kind of specific sense. Like, if I can think of one, not that they don't have life after death, like the Norse culture. So these people of Thor, what. So the Norse is like think of it as where Scandinavia is now. They used to speak Norse and then they had that culture, those beliefs. This was long before Christianity reached that area. So they have.
For them, what did they have?
They have
like
a
when you
certain-
die, you die. That's
No, not that. They believe that when you die as a warrior, you go to a place called Valhalla. But even that Valhalla they had a myth about, a prophecy about the future. They are like, at some point in the future, Valhalla will be destroyed and everyone, even the gods, will die.
Oh, Ragnarok.
Ragnarok.
Huh?
Yeah, I think
If you're
the Marvel, Marvel made a movie based off Ragnarok.
I didn't even like that movie. I don't know. I think it's overrated.
It was a funny movie.
Nah.
I liked it.
They overjoked. The guns look like toy guns. They are laughing.
It
Like
was
the
funny.
dark world. Like
What
that's
you don't get is you're getting older and these movies are targeted at a specific audience.
maybe
Who is enjoying it?
like you know, you're
No,
not growing
no.
older. Well, now are you defending it? You watched She-Hulk the entire season. The entire season you liked She-Hulk.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the point.
Back to that. So, and then the other cultures where they think that when you die, there's not necessarily an afterlife. You come back again. It's called reincarnation. You're reincarnated. This is prominent in very many forms of Hinduism.
You come back as a bat. There's that culture when like you've been a bad person, you reincarnate like a snail. So slow, everyone will get you and kill you.
Yeah.
Then the others
Hinduism,
reincarnate like an eagle,
yeah,
dragon.
Yeah. So in Hinduism, there's a certain concept called karma, which is a central part of their dharma, which is like I don't know, I can't quote.
Wait, karma is from that karma thing is from India.
Yeah, it's from Hinduism and other
Gen Z is like karma.
Yeah, Vedic derived religions. So, so karma is this concept of, it's more of like you pay for your actions. What you do, the deeds you
What
do,
you reap,
and your intent.
you reap what you sow.
Different, yeah, basically you reap what you sow. Basic kind of whatever. So when the skills get balanced up, see whether you had overall good karma or you overall did bad things.
So do you think
And
that was to scare?
Yeah,
To scare
yeah.
people.
Possibly this makes people want to work better, so they want to have.
This reminds me of
good
those Uganda
reincarnation.
stories,
Yeah.
all those things they used to tell us avoid back then. There's a saying, Tochimanga nku echiro. Never fetch fire within the night, no, it's not that complicated literature.
Oh, okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Like, you find demons and what. But the thing was for you not to go outside and run into wild animals, snakes,
I've also thought of one.
all that.
We had this one where you're not supposed to sit on. There's a certain thing which you use for pounding. I don't know, grinding.
It's called
I know the local term. I know the local term.
You
My
pound
language,
groundnuts,
but
right?
That won't mean anything to you. Yeah? So you put like say millet in it or something, and then you start pounding to remove husks and something of the sort. So you're not supposed to sit on it. There's a certain whole elaborate myth about what happens to you when you sit on it or when you skip over people seated down. But obviously this was set up for decency, hygiene. Similarly, you've seen different religions that have prohibitions against, say, taking pork, like say the original Jewish people. They're like, oh, don't take pork because this and this.
It doesn't chew the card.
Don't take this and this anymore.
Leviticus 12.
Yeah, you've read the entire Leviticus. But when you look at the things that are prohibited, a lot of the time these things are prohibited because they have certain health issues. Like, you know how diseases in pork are very zoonotic. Like, they can easily
worms,
they can easily
cross over
to humans. So maybe it was a disease kind of prohibition along with a lot of customs. So getting back to my other original point, a lot of the time religions, spirituality, when you look at the depth of it, before humans got organized into very complicated societies with legal systems, courts,
religion was guiding us.
It was set up.
Religion was
a guiding principle. So it was the law. It was.
What if they saw something? No.
It was the family.
What if they saw something? What if they saw something?
Think of any form of spirituality. It guides on hygiene. It guides on safety. Don't go out at night. It guides
what's
on
in the safety of killing
how
twins?
the family should work. Killing twins now. There are times when people are taken over. Of course, you even see this in modern day. You've heard of cults. I was giving you an example of the Aztec death cult that had taken over the civilization at the time when the Europeans showed up. Basically, they were sacrificing everyone all over the place, unsustainable, obviously. So, similarly, there are some, we've seen this happen over and over. You've heard of different things like the Johnstown Kool-Aid people. You've heard of, even here, you've heard of Chibwetere. And
wait, Chibwetere? Chibwetere is scared to cross into, Chibwetere and his people were scared to cross into 2000. When they saw 1999, becoming 2000. Yeah.
But that was a common theme.
This is the end. This is the end.
If you look back at that time, there are very many religions that were like, oh, this is the world ending. Very many fringe religions, or sometimes people. At that turn of the century, there were so many people who thought the world is going to end. So, and people are not rational beings. by design. Like,
but people are always looking for what to believe in.
exactly, they are not rational.
There's a town, there's a village called Imbalala. Not Imbalala, not.
I know it.
Yeah, it's Imbalala, Mukono.
Yeah, I know it.
So there is a in Imbalala, there is, I think, a parish. What parish? What's a parish? I don't know. A small village inside Imbalala called Kasenge. Kasenge, inside Kasenge, there's a certain region called the Nsinda. Inside the Nsinda,
that's a very crazy description.
Inside the Nsinda, there's a stone. They claimed this stone goes under ground and then comes back. And people would dance around the stone. And they would, I don't know, worship it, what, dress like Oba, what. One day should go and see that stone in Nsinda.
So you think people can just believe in anything these days?
Not these days. This
in general.
This has been existing ever since. It's like, okay, who came up with this stone goes underground and comes, but then he went around and left people.
So
you think someone was schizophrenic?
As humans, we like to think that we are so rational, and what we see, what we believe is totally influenced by logic. But a lot of the time, it turns out that our brain is created in a certain way where it can be hacked. We can believe ridiculous things. Even I right now, I'm sure I hold very many contradicting, ridiculous beliefs. So even these religions, some of them can be negative, some of them can turn into cults.
Man, cults are serious.
Yeah, some can become suicide cults.
Did you see this recent stuff that happened in Kenya? Where they told
the starvation thing.
People starved themselves to death. They starved to death because God ordered them. God told their prophet or pastor or whatever he is, the spiritual leader, told them to fast until what were they fasting for even? I even don't know. And then they died. They refused to eat. And according to medical ethics, if someone refuses treatment, you leave them. So they took this pastor to court. And his lawyer was like, if someone has evidence of God not telling him, or if someone has evidence that these people who have died have not gone into the afterlife, then the pastor is guilty. So religions have...
So he was set loose.
I don't know right now. I don't know what's happening. But cults also develop when you talked about negative whatever. Cults are developing from these religions. So this is confusing the entire world. Religion. So there's the theory. By some wise man.
Who is the wise man? Anyway, say some wise man, Go ahead.
By some wise man. Are you seeing the Big Bang Theory? The Big Bang Theory talks about creation of the universe. It was once a particle that exploded. It exploded. The planets and all these, the suns, everything came from that. And the universe is still infinitely expanding. We don't know up to when. Up to, they think it will stop into what is called a big freeze. We shall reach a point and all freeze. Because we shall be so distant from the suns. Anyway. So, all this was created from one thing that exploded.
Not necessarily a particle. It was
but remember,
very hot, dense, like
hot
singularity, like all the matter in the universe was
matter and time.
And space was concentrated into a single point, and it ballooned from there. And
so energy can either be destroyed or created. The law of conservation of energy. But it can be transformed from one form to another. In the Bible, they say out of, was it in the Bible? Out of nothing, things started happening. In the beginning, there was a void, then they separated the water from the land, the darkness from the light. There was creation happening. There was creation happening. Right now, you're seeing all this light and electricity. Some turbine in ginger is rotating because of the power of the what? Of
the creation.
No, not the power of the creation. Because of the water.
Yeah.
The speed of water.
Yeah.
The velocity of water is turning into electricity.
Mm-hmm.
So energy is just
The
being
kinetic
transformed.
energy.
So how did this energy come out of nothing? How did this energy come?
Where did the first energy come from?
Where did it come from? It all shows like at least there was someone who snapped fingers.
So what's your theory?
So the theory, okay, the snapping of fingers, I don't know what happened before the Big Bang. Okay? So my theory is that since we all came from the same thing, no, theory of the wise man.
Go ahead.
Okay, the theory of the wise man.
Okay, what's the wise man's theory?
The wise man theory says that since we did what? Since all this came from one thing, it's all interconnected. Everything is the same. Do you know we are made of stuff? A star exploded, it released magnesium, it released carbon, hydrogen, these things combined on Earth to form you and everyone, the dinosaurs and all that. So, what if we have like a network? A network like me and all the matter, the sun and the energy, we are connected in some way. We don't know. But then when you meditate at a deeper level, at a deeper level, you connect, you bond with that cosmic energy. The wise man claims it's a cosmic energy.
The wise man claims.
Yes.
So now,
so that's why you pray and things happen. When you believe something, when you feel like I'm going to be successful, I'm going to make it, I'm going to change the society,
you interact.
It takes a lot of belief, and that belief I connect it to kind of it's a kind of meditation. So this meditation bonds with the positive.
So I have
energy,
a question for
with
you.
The cosmic energy.
What's next? You're going to. Is the wise man going to go start his own?
No. I think the wise man. I think the wise man is going to encourage bonding with another dimension we don't know about. We don't. I can't claim. It's not tangible.
You don't know.
The wise man doesn't know.
But anyway, me, I believe it's a nice thing to think of.
I feel like,
and when you look at what you said, everything being connected, if you view the world through, say, quantum mechanics, there is arguably the whole universe, all the matter, is one wave function.
So we are one.
Arguably, but I don't think functionally, in reality, I don't think that there is a physical wave current understanding of physics.
Yes, use that
at
current understanding. Yes.
In science, we don't always know the answers. We're always looking for the true answer, refining our ideas. So there is a way that maybe things communicate, but current understanding, I don't think there's a way for something to communicate with another thing faster than light.
Do you know that?
There is a way we are physically connected.
Is it the yin and yang symbol?
I know it.
Yin and yang. The Chinese, is it only Chinese or even Japanese got it?
It's associated with a lot of those Northeast Asian,
yeah. There's a black and white, and then a small dot of white, a small dot of black. Yeah. Most of the people who don't know this yin and yang, if you have watched Tai Chi by Jet Li, you know that thing she does when she's going to fight, even Shaolin soccer. They always bring up that symbol. So even when you watch the Avatar Last Airbender. So good and evil is existing, darkness and light is existing at the same time. Moving around. So me, I feel like, people blame where bad things happening when someone on a higher dimension can stop them. Where kids dying of cancer and all that. But me, I feel, or the wise man feels, like if you bond with this cosmic energy, you either bond positively or negatively. And the blame is to the people who are meditating to that higher dimension. So if you wish for good things to happen, good things will happen if you push them. That's why if you bring health, if you improve health facilities in villages, in our countries, people stop dying of malaria.
Yeah. So now, do you know
so
what
Hitler meditated negatively, Adolf Hitler, with the cosmic energy, and it affected the entire world.
I understood that, but now one thing I've picked, at least from the whole experience of this wise man, is I think this is how religions originate. Someone sits.
So the wise man is going to start up a religion.
Possibly, because someone sits, thinks very hard, and maybe other people build on. It gets refined, and slowly that belief becomes complicated, and eventually, and sometimes it's shaped intentionally for societal control, for peace, for giving people a heritage and a feeling of superiority, for different reasons, and that's the complex thing that brings about religion specifically. As for the spiritual realm,
you've heard of Mami Water. Have you heard of Mami Water? You know Mami Water?
I've not heard of
Mami Water.
Who is Mami Water?
You don't know Mami Water? You've watched Let's Be Nigeria movies.
Who is Mami Water?
Mami Water is a sea god, a sea goddess, a sea demon or whatever. You know those Nigerian movies you used to watch, those Illuminati niggas go inside the ocean to get wealth. Those are the Mami Waters. Mermaids.
Oh, mermaids.
Okay, what we call mermaids.
I just remembered something very funny about
the Illuminati.
You know this country, the one where they have barbecue? Yeah, the Haiti. It's currently...
This guy's name is spelled as barbecue, like roasting meat.
Yeah, because...
That cannibal guy.
Yeah, because he apparently roasts people and it's them. Okay, that's the claim.
The way you were so sad saying it's
I don't
them.
know. So,
it's like you nearly succumbed.
The founding...
You were like, the guy roasts people and it's them.
Yeah, so no, it's a bad thing. It's very bad. Okay, it's sad what's going on in Haiti. But I've heard still that during their foundation, there's this story that a certain voodoo goddess is the one who told the slaves, when the slaves met up at a meeting to discuss whether they should have the revolution, overthrow the masters, because these people used to be having certain overlords.
When was
French
this?
overlords.
So it's still slavery in Haiti.
Haiti was probably one of the first African country. Okay, not African, sorry. Black countries. You know, Haiti is in the Caribbean. So one of the first black countries to overthrow their masters, and they had a revolution. This was long before our independence movements. It was in the 1800s, if I'm right. They overthrew their colonial masters. They were slaves. They had a revolt, overthrew the masters.
Let's go back to the goods. Let's go back to the goods.
And they set up their king. So apparently a certain voodoo goddess in their first revolutionary meeting showed up and gave them an inspirational speech, and that's why they decided to. So you never know. Maybe these things are...
They decided to...
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were going to connect it to barbecue. I was like,
No.
This chef decided to eat people.
When you told me when you moved to West Africa, I thought, oh, voodoo.
No, West Africa, they believe in that Mami Water.
Yeah.
East Africa, the distance between West and East Africa is quite big, right?
Yeah.
Even in East Africa, there is. Mami is there at the coast of East Africa. Here.
I haven't heard of that till though.
Msamba Jokunyanja.
Maybe.
Have you ever heard of Musambo?
I know what Musambo is, definitely.
But do you remember those stories when we were kids? A woman with legs which are like for goats and all that stuff. Yeah?
I've not.
All these cultures are having such gods, like humanoid gods living under the water and all that. Was there someone who started spreading?
So you think there is an original proto-religion? Oh, the actual
no, I feel that. No, what if?
There
was a Mami Water?
the Anunnaki.
Do we know?
Me, I just think it's happy accident.
Mm.
But you can choose to believe in the Anunnaki, in whatever belief you want. I think it's okay as long as it's not harmful. Yeah. As I've had in the past. Yeah. Any creed is fine. But sometimes people can misuse religion, interpret it the way they want. Indoctrinate people, radicalize them, get them to do all sorts of things. Get them to, I don't know,
kill themselves, kill other people.
It is, yeah.
Some
as
family
long as
rituals.
I think it's fine as long as it does not do that. Yeah, we as humans are already wired to believe in something. It's our natural state of being. So
it's like
we
someone
can't
coded
escape
it in
that.
our DNA. Believe in something.
So there's a good chance of a creator just for that reason. Okay? So I think it's not bad to be spiritual or anything. Yeah, we should just take some of our beliefs sometimes with a grain of salt. Yeah, so when they tell you to sell your belongings and
you'd be like,
could that guy be
Micah.
lying to me? When they tell you to do something crazy, lock yourselves in a church and we band together because
the world is ending.
The world is ending in the year 2000. Be skeptical. At least keep it in mind.
People should have
your mind
should be
is
curious
wired.
and should always think
Yeah.
about the actions.
And remember, even what you think is real, your mind is wired sometimes to believe unreal things. Your mind can be.
Remember, we said the mind can
People
show
are
you
not logical.
anything.
Yeah. Even my mind right now might be hacked, and I have some strange, funny beliefs. Who knows?
Do you have said that twice, you gay?
I don't have any strange belief. No, I'm just saying that anyone, there's no perfect irrational human. Is what I'm
If
saying.
you call this man, tell me. Okay.
I think we should end it.
Yeah.